U.S. forces in a multitude of locations across the Middle East have been attacked. The U.S. State Department has issued a global security alert due to increased tension in the Middle East and the potential for violence and extremist actions against America. This comes to us along with the news that 3 U.S. military bases in Syria were struck by drones. 2 large U.S. air bases in Iraq were rocked with multiple missile impacts, and a U.S. destroyer in the Red Sea shot down multiple missiles originating from Houthi controlled territory in Yemen. This is a breaking news update, so we are quickly going to skim through the details. This is almost certainly in relation to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, and for those of you wondering, I do have a video on this topic in production, which will be ready for the audience in a few days. But in the meantime, this is worth its own short video. So please consider hitting both that like and subscribe button to help out the channel. If we get 2,000 likes, then I will continue to do short geopolitical updates in the future, so please hit that like button if you're interested in this kind of content. As far as casualties are concerned, so far reports suggest that several American soldiers have been injured in Syria, but there are no reports of KIA. The attacks in Syria occurred in the Conoco gas field base in eastern Syria, which is under Kurdish control. This is where we are getting the reports of U.S. personnel with minor injuries after a total of 5 explosions occurred near oil infrastructure and reportedly destroyed a gas pipeline in the region. 1 drone was shot down by air defenses. According to Hezbollah-affiliated Lebanese news outlet Al Mayadeen, the Islamic resistance in Iraq has claimed credit for the attacks on the Conoco gas field. There are also 3 reported explosions. There are also reported explosions in the vicinity of the Global Coalition's force base at Al Omar Field in the eastern Deir ez-Zor region after 3 drones attacked. So not necessarily 3 explosions, but 3 drones attacked the region. A 3rd drone strike was partially thwarted, with 1 drone causing material damage to the base at Al-Tanf, a U.S.-supported Syrian rebel enclave, with 2 additional drones being shot down. Allegedly, this attack was also orchestrated by Iran-backed militias. In northern Iraq, 2 days ago, an attack was thwarted on the Harir Air Base near Erbil, this time with a group called Tashkil al-Warthan claiming responsibility for the attack, but this was merely the first reported incident. Since then, the Al-Assad Air Base was targeted by multiple missiles or drones, also the site of a massive Iranian missile barrage that occurred a few years ago after American strikes killed an Iranian general. Initially, sources claimed the attack was thwarted, but since then it appears there were multiple explosions heard inside of the base, and the U.S. government has stated that a U.S. civilian contractor died of a cardiac episode while seeking shelter during the attack. Just a few hours ago, news broke that the U.S. military base Victoria at the Baghdad International Airport was targeted in another rocket barrage. According to an Iraqi police officer, explosions occurred inside the base, but no further details were given. Both of these attacks on U.S. air bases appear to be from the same group, Islamic Resistance in Iraq, which claimed credit for the first attack, but I have not yet seen statements about the second. U.S. officials earlier today confirmed that the USS Carney, a U.S. Navy Arleigh Burke-class destroyer, shot down multiple missiles over the Red Sea off the coast of Yemen. The implication is that these missiles were launched by the Iranian Houthi-backed rebels in the country, but they were not targeted at the ship. It appears that they were heading towards Israel, and the destroyer just so happened to be in a position to intercept them. It certainly appears that these attacks are all orchestrated by Iran, although Iran has not yet publicly taken any credit. Most of these militia groups involved are bankrolled by the Iranian government, and this has occurred in light of Iranian threats to Israel over the ongoing situation regarding Gaza. Specific threats were made by Iran that the bombing of the city should stop if Israel decided to invade the territory. Then Iran would be forced into military option against Israel. Hezbollah, the Iranian-backed militia in Lebanon, made a statement. Our missiles, drones, and special forces are ready to direct qualitative strikes at the American enemy in its bases and disrupt its interests if it intervenes in this battle. This is a direct quote from the head of the militia last Wednesday. It is possible these attacks occurred because of the movement of 2 U.S. aircraft carrier battle groups to the region and the news of the deployment of a quick reaction force of 2,000 U.S. troops to the Middle East. I don't have any specific clarity on where these troops are at the moment. The news seemed to indicate they could be deployed to Israel or possibly spread out across U.S. bases. It's tough to say for sure. It is also possible that this pressure occurred because of an emergency visit by Joe Biden to Israel that occurred over the last few days, where military aid for Israel was announced and talks are supposed to be held with leaders from Jordan, Egypt, and Palestine. That is all I have for you on this topic for now. Please, if you want more on this topic or other topics like it, hit that like button and get us to 2K. Thank you all, and until next time.